from Dhaka, this is Tahmina Nupur and you are watching BSS News. At first, the headlines. Referendum Ordinance gets final approval. Bangladesh emerges as rising maritime nation, says Adviser Sakhawat. Chief Election Commission for impartiality from election observers. United Nations and Bangladesh discuss migrant workers' welfare in Maldives. United States pressed Ukraine to accept deal at Geneva talks, says officials. Now the details. Referendum Ordinance gets final approval. The government today gave final approval to the draft of the Referendum Ordinance 2025. The approval came at a special meeting of the Council of Advisors held at the Chief Advisor's office in Dhaka, chaired by Chief Advisor Professor Dr. Yunus. Law Advisor Professor Dr. Asif Nazrul briefed the media at the Foreign Service Academy this afternoon. He said the ordinance has been prepared in line with the July National Charter Implementation Order 2025 and outlines the full procedure for holding a referendum. He added that a gazette notification is expected today or tomorrow. Bangladesh emerges as rising maritime nation, says Adviser Sakhawat. Shipping Adviser Brigadier General Dr. M Sakhawat Hossain yesterday said Bangladesh has moved from a coastal economy to an emerging maritime nation. He spoke at the opening of the 34th General Assembly of the International Maritime Organization in London. He highlighted digital and infrastructural upgrades at Chattogram, Mongla and Paira ports and the construction of the Mathabari Deep Sea Port. He said over 21,000 Bangladeshi seafarers uphold the country's reputation worldwide. He noted Bangladesh's active role in International Maritime Organization committees and its commitment to global maritime regulations. He said the development philosophy of Chief Advisor Professor Dr. Yunus and plans such as the Bangladesh Delta Plan 21,000 and the Blue Economy Roadmap are guiding future progress. Bangladesh is contesting for International Maritime Organization Council membership in C category for the 2026-2027 term. The shipping advisor urged support from 175 member states and highlighted achievements in ship recycling, shipbuilding, and maritime training. He also mentioned 10 annual scholarships for seafarers from island and least developed nations. On the sidelines, he held bilateral talks with Pakistan and Belize on maritime trade, ship recycling, and human resources development. Bangladesh High Commissioner to England Abida Islam and senior officials attended the session. Chief Election Commissioner for impartiality from election observers. Chief Election Commissioner A.M. Nasiruddin today urged all election observers to maintain full transparency and impartiality for the upcoming 13th Jatiyo Samsad election. Speaking at a dialogue with the representatives from 40 observation organizations at the Election Commission Bhavan in Agargaon, he said the Election Commission's only objective is to deliver a fair and a credible election. He told the observers that those working at the field level must stay neutral and ensure their teams understand this responsibility. He said the commission will run its own supervisory system, but observers must also report whether the process is transparent and whether the election code of conduct and laws are being followed. He stressed that observers must not influence any political campaign and their role is only to observe, not interfere. The Chief Election Commissioner said they are committed to holding a fair, credible and well-conducted election, something that requires national cooperation. He added that observers will play a role at every stage, from monitoring the campaign to assessing polling center management, performance of presiding officers and police, and whether voters face any obstruction. He said their reports must be completely truthful because much depends on their accuracy. He also called on observers to recommend improvements if they find shortcomings in the Commission's management. United Nations and Bangladesh discuss migrant workers' welfare in Maldives. Bangladesh and the United Nations today stressed stronger cooperation with the Maldives to protect their rights and welfare of immigrant workers, mostly Bangladeshis. The discussion took place on Monday in Malé during a meeting with the United Nations Resident Coordinator in the Maldives, Housam, and Bangladesh High Commissioner to the Maldives, Dr. Mohammad Nazmul Islam. Both sides discussed expanding collaboration to ensure migrant workers access to essential services and legal protection. The United Nations Resident Coordinator briefed the High Commissioner on ongoing United Nations activities and priorities areas supporting migrant welfare. Bangladesh High Commissioner Dr. Mohammad Nazmul Islam thanked the United Nations for its support and highlighted the contribution of Bangladeshi workers in the Maldives. He proposed joint programs on labor rights, public health, and human resource development. The United Nations Resident Coordinator welcomed the proposal and said the International Organization for Migration would work on a stronger framework for migrant protection. Both sides expressed confidence that joint efforts of the United Nations, Bangladesh, and the Maldives will improve migrant welfare and sustainable development in the region. United States pressed Ukraine to accept deal at Geneva talks, says official. The United States has urged Ukraine to accept its proposal to end the war with Russia during talks in Geneva. A senior official said Ukraine understood that rejecting the plan might risk future American aid. The original United States plan would require Ukraine to give up the eastern Donetsk and Lugansk regions and reduce its military. Kiev has called these terms unacceptable. Early Tuesday, explosions rocked Kiev and the Air Force warned of a nationwide missile threat. Ukrainian, United States, and European officials met in Switzerland on Sunday to reverse the plan. The Kremlin said it would not accept European amendments. Officials said United States pressure eased slightly, but overall pressure remained. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said President Donald Trump was engaging with both sides equally. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz said the discussions would be lengthy despite President Donald Trump's earlier deadline for President Volodymyr Zelensky. A new draft has not been released, but all sides agreed any deal must protect Ukraine's sovereignty. The coalition of countries supporting Kiev will hold a video call later today. President Volodymyr Zelensky said Ukraine was at a critical moment. Russian President Vladimir Putin welcomed the original United States plan. In Washington, President Donald Trump said something positive might be happening. United States Secretary of State Marco Rubio said tremendous progress had been made and he believed an agreement was possible. Russia continues to occupy large parts of southern and eastern Ukraine and claims to have annexed 5 regions, including Crimea, which it seized in 2014. The Kremlin wants recognition of all occupied territories and demands that Ukraine withdraw from the remaining part of Donetsk. Kiev has rejected these demands. That's all for today. For more information, visit bssnews.net. Thanks for watching.